Well, ShopDog's been chasing squirrels a lot lately. The birds drop a lot of seeds down here, and the squirrels come down. He's gotten a few, but we try to discourage that. But now he always thinks there's a squirrel. Anyway, we're walking out. I think we're going to take a minute and throw those tires on the fish truck. You know, the new fish truck. And the old fish truck is now sitting out front waiting to be recycled. Kenny came by yesterday and he didn't have a trailer available big enough for it, but the semi should be empty sometime this week, so he'll come scoop it up with the forklift that way. But yeah, we're gonna have to make some room. I think they're coming up to work on the Catalina today, so we'll move some things. It's, you know, life's a mess, but it is time to swap the tires on. And one of them, he put a mark. In fact, this one is the one that's a little wobbly and a little goofy, so I'm going to be on the lookout for one of those. We'll see. He said it took a lot of weight to balance it, so we'll see what we get. I have a feeling it was right here when it got hit. That's going to be my guess. So we'll check in a little bit. ShopDog's napping. I'm working up front, and one thing I like to do with tires, especially on disc brake cars, is rotate them and look for wobble. So you can see, now this is the one that's the most bent wheel that needed the weight. Normally you'd put them in the back, but I really want to feel what the effect of it is to find out if I want to go through all the effort of finding one of these, because I got a feeling they're hard to get. So I'm going to put it in the spot where I'm going to feel it the most. Find out if that's an issue. Seems to be running pretty true. Just did this one, and then the same thing I like to do is rotate the wheel and look. If you had something wrong, or it was kittywampus, or the brake rotor wasn't down when you tightened it, you would see it go whoa, 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 and you definitely don't want it doing that. So that looks pretty good. So we're going to move on to the back. The other little advice I can give, and I'm sure you've noticed I do it all the time. In fact, you can see some tires stacked over there. As I buy these little $10 buggies at Northern. They're not perfect, but they do a great job. And now you can just move 4 tires all at once. Very handy. There's a Catalina video going on at the same time we're working on the fish truck. So this will be fun in editing for me to remember what goes where. But we got them on. Getting ready to drop her down and take her for a ride and see if that wheel is going to be an issue or not. Okay, so ShopDog and I are taking the fish truck out and see how we feel. Alright, so she's coming down, she is out. Alright, let's put some windows up. It's kind of chilly out here in the winter. Okay. Alright, pop out a mirror. Initial feeling is it's rolling. So, this should be awkward. Once we get to the highway, I'll put on a seatbelt and put the phone away. But for now, I'm on my own property. So, I'm going to come up here and open the gate. Which I guess I should have pre-opened. And you can see the other fish truck up there. Alright, you hang tight, ShopDog. Yeah, and we did raise the gate. Last year it was a little too low, and these would freeze down in, and boy was that a nightmare. So I raised the gate 2.5 to 3 inches. Hopefully this year it doesn't freeze. Alright, we're just gonna leave it open because the dog I'm worried about is in the truck with me. So I'm not worried about ShopDog getting out if he's already in the truck. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a seatbelt. Not even because it's a law thing. I feel weird without a seatbelt. I've gotten used to it over the last 30 years. I'm not gonna bother popping that mirror out. So here's the saddest thing. I feel so sad about this fish truck. And it was a great truck. Got many good years out of that thing. Well, I looked at the title. I've had this thing for almost 11 years. So, she's sitting there waiting. Kenny's going to come sometime this week with a semi-trailer and the big bobcat with the forks. And he's going to scoop her up and go recycle what's left. We'll make a few refrigerators. You know, and it's a big truck. So, well, so far I don't feel anything weird. Nothing's howling. Nothing's shaking. We'll check in just a second with the brake. Yeah, I definitely, now that I got tires on it, I will take it in for a second alignment. You know, I took it in, they did the alignment, and that was all fine, but the steering wheel was off because that pitman arm was so bad that they just had to pick a point and use it. So, okay, somebody randomly walking around town, because people do that. Okay, brake is getting better and better. Okay. Yeah, no problem. No shake, no wobble. I'm sure at 80 or something on the highway it's got a little shake, but it sure doesn't right now. So I'm gonna say that we're pretty happy with the Fishtruck right now. Oh, look at that, baby out for a ride. So see, it's not too bad out. It's 34 right now, you know, and it's supposed to warm up this week. Gonna have to figure out what's creaking. I'm sure it's a control arm. It's gonna be a control arm or a sway bar end link creaking up there. I think for the use on this truck, it's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna live with it, I think. At least until we get to a point where we're towing with it. Then I might deal with it. But for the foreseeable future, this I think we're gonna be able to work with this. Okay. And that's my favorite little spot for testing four-wheel. You know, being able to turn all the way left, turn all the way right. Close to home, easy to get at, low traffic. Okay, hang on, Chop Dog. We're gonna do not a panic stop, because he goes flying, but yeah, no, it stops nice and square. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that this isn't pointed right, I would say the alignment's pretty good. I just, you know, rather support local business. They're new, they've only been there for a year. You know, we'll take it over and let them line it up again on the machine. Also, you know, like before, he warned me about that steering gear, which I'd already suspected, but with that pitman arm, it was hard to know. So that worked out good. And of course, FedEx on a Sunday, that seems to be a thing now. But yeah, I think we're gonna call this a success. It drives beautifully. It's quiet, no shakes. Arlen did a great job balancing. Even if that rim, oh, there's ever so slightly a shake at 50, and we're not talking much. So I'm not gonna get too worried about that. Especially since this truck will hardly ever be 50. And then we still got that little futz at the end of a quicker stop. We'll deal with that at some point. But yeah, there's the Fishtruck. I'm glad that we've been able to recover as much as we could off of that. So, we'll go ahead, pull in, close the gate, and the fish house is going in the back of this truck now. Because I think, barring the alignment, this thing is ready to go ice fishing. I think that's kind of where we're at right now. So I better close the gate or I will forget. And greyhounds are not the easiest dogs to catch. So, luckily the last time he got out, he's really good friends with the neighbor dog, you know, Miner, up to the north there. So the last time somebody let him out, he went over looking for his buddy Miner, so he was easy enough to catch that time. But the first time he got out, he liked the highway. He thought that was pretty interesting. So yeah, and it's a little early and I haven't pulled it all apart yet because I'm still hoping all this is gonna thaw and I can finish raking leaves. But yeah, the cyclone rake is still on the tractor, which is why I popped it out. It's in their way for the Pontiac. But yeah, I'm still kind of hoping to do the fence line. I did get, you know, the main yards done and in the rain and everything, but I wouldn't mind getting the fence line done, getting the far back, getting in the woods over there. And I've got some more leaves falling since the last snow anyway. And then I'm not sure if she's coming back from Germany next month or not. She isn't sure yet what they're gonna do. So I may wind up having that car there all winter. We'll see. Because honestly, if you get any real snow, that car is not coming out. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Turns out driving, holding the phone, that's always interesting. Okay. Oh yeah, and at some point I will put the camera in. That's the other thing I gotta do yet, is put the camera in. Okay, that should do it. So we're gonna put a fish house in it. ShopDog says, thank you so much for watching the video. Okay, and I'm probably gonna run a hair more. I think they're at 34 right now. I think I'm gonna run 36. But this is what this truck is all about. There is the portable fish house. It is in there, and then right next to it we slide the auger here, the heaters and the buckets with the Vexilars and your fishing poles and everything slide up front. No, this is perfect. Not sure that this is going to work out in the winter. It may get stuck and froze to stuff, but there's plenty of room to slide the auger in there. So it's going to do the thing that I want it to do, and that's take my equipment on and off the lake. It's literally all this truck is about. So all right, I think for now that is probably the end of this fish truck series for a while. Okay, one engine, although that goes to the Pontiac.
Might need it for a template.
We got the 496, the 5.7 for the fish truck. That is a 68 2-bolt block that it has been machined, but that project fell through. Another 98 roller block. I think that's all the engines on the floor here. We do have the transmission for that car. And I'm still putting away stuff in the fish truck. So we got that tranny, this front differential. We're starting the long fun chore of sorting through all this crap that came down from the other shop. At some point you gotta go through it and sort things out, figure out what's what and what's going where. Yeah, so yeah, there's another little piece of fish truck.